This story is really important and near and dear to us. Nearly 10 million people in this country have a serious mental illness. And for most, the symptoms start at age 14 for half of all people. And that's the case for one of our very good friends of the show. You know him because he's on every Friday, our movie critic, Kevin McCarthy.
Movie critic Kevin McCarthy is joining us now.
While we're used to seeing our favorite film critic and entertainment reporter chatting it up with some of Hollywood's biggest stars, Kevin McCarthy has been fighting a personal battle that has only recently come to light. Our colleague, who works at our sister station in Washington, D.C., not only suffers from depression, but severe OCD. He recently took to Instagram to share details about his struggles and journey. Diagnosed at age 14, Kevin has been on medication and seeing doctors for a very long time. And while he's been successful living with his mental illness, there have been moments when Kevin simply hits a wall, meaning the chemical imbalance in his brain has literally paralyzed him, preventing him from moving through life on his own terms.
Vin Diesel's an honor. I still have my first ticket from 20 years ago for the first Fast and Furious film.
Rather than stay in a place of hopelessness, Kevin has chosen to talk about his condition. He recognizes that he not only has a great life, but an opportunity to help fight the stigma of mental illness while bringing it to the forefront.
And Kevin McCarthy joins us right now. Kevin, thank you so much for sharing your story and this journey, because I know it can't be easy.
Oh, good morning to you, Karen. No, that was really beautiful to hear that montage put together. I appreciate it. And yeah, I really appreciate you having me on to talk about it. I'm really just here today to talk about the idea of mental health being an open discussion. People should always be talking about it with each other. And I think it's important, you know, especially in this day and age of social media where every single thing seems like everyone's living their best life ever. I just personally wanted to share that aspect of my life as well, because it's a major part of my life versus maybe the picture I post on Instagram or the interview I post, which is, you know, a small part of my job and my life. But overall, the struggle of mental health is something I've been dealing with since I was a kid. And I do want to say I have a great life, and there's no complaints in terms of that. I'm married to the most amazing woman, my wife Lauren, who's incredible. I have a great family, I have a great job. It's just a chemical imbalance in my brain, as the video said. So it's just important that we talk about these things. And it's been amazing how many people have come out and talked about how many similar stories they have as well.
And I think that's a really good point, because even, and especially maybe when it looks like you have it all. You got a beautiful wife, she's also a movie critic, you had an amazing wedding and marriage, and you have this great job. How did it all come to a head in early September? Because we also noticed on social media, because we're all, you know, friends with you and we love you and care about you, where you said, look, I need help and I'm just taking a pause and I'm taking a step back. How did that come to a head and what happened?
Yeah, well, I wasn't prioritizing my life. I wasn't prioritizing what's really important in my life, my marriage, my family. I became a bit of a workaholic. Also, for 16, I did the job I'm doing now for free for 8 years. So for 16 years, basically, I've said yes to everything. So I never really gave my mental health the work that it needed, because it is work to actually get better. And as you mentioned, I've been on medication since I was 14. And in early September, I was in the middle of a live segment, and I was feeling anxious and depressed and dealing with a lot of OCD that morning in terms of my drive to the live location that I was going to. And right after the segment was over, I pulled my IFB piece out and I said, I have to go home. I almost had like a panic attack. I couldn't even drive my car home. I left my car at the live location shot for like 4 or 5 days, because I had hit a wall. I had broken basically. And so now since September 17th, it's only October 12th. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm cured or better, but I'm dealing with these incredible doctors, and I'm on 3 or 4 different medications. And I think people should talk about this. I'm on Prozac, yes. I'm on Ritalin, I'm on Klonopin. I've tried Abilify as well. And over the years, I've done all the medications, Zolofts and Anafranil and Lexapros and all those medications. And I want to tell your viewers it's important. Everything is trial and error. And finding a great doctor that you can work with that can tell you what you're going through, and these medications and the side effects of these medications are another whole thing you have to deal with in terms of that. So there's so many factors here. But what I've really learned through this process, and hopefully this segment today for your viewers, is that I've had so many people come up to me in my newsroom, message me on Twitter and social media saying, hey, I'm feeling the exact same way, but I just couldn't share it. I mean, it really is amazing how many people are going through it and how much you can help someone just by talking to them about it, because our lives all seem so perfect on social media. And I haven't dealt with like a severe tragedy in my life. There's no complaining whatsoever. It's just literally my brain doesn't fire the right way. And I had an appointment yesterday with my psychologist, who's been a phenomenal doctor. I've worked with her here in DC for the past couple months. And I'm starting to understand my mind and kind of how my thoughts work. And I'm 37. I've been dealing with this since I was a kid. I noticed it early on when I was in middle school, but I got picked on and bullied a lot because of my OCD and my depression. But back then, no one really knew what that was. So you would walk up to somebody and ask them a weird question that was your OCD or your depression, and they make fun of you, and then it just keeps you wanting to keep it inside more often. I wish I could have talked to students about, hey, I'm on this medication, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. And I think that nowadays, it's important that we have these discussions, and we are not alone. I have good and bad days, but again, it's really important to share it. And I'm on a journey now. My ball is rolling, and I'm trying to get better. That's where I'm at.
And we're really grateful, and we love you, and your brain's firing in all the great ways, with the way your insight, the way you look at films, what you have to say, your observations about this planet. We spent some time together on a junket at one time, so we are rooting for you, we love you, and we are grateful. What you're doing right now is powerful, because I have so many friends in my life that are on all of these different medications and in our families, and this is an important conversation. So thank you for being brave enough to talk about this, and we love you.
Yeah. Thank you, and I love you too. And also, I want to shout out movies nowadays that are also starting to really destigmatize the mental health aspect of it. My job is to interview actors, so I've had a lot of great conversations recently with actors who are also going through these things. I had a great mental health conversation the other day with Jamie Lee Curtis, and so it's becoming part of my interviewing now, and it's actually been like super interesting to hear actors and like Ryan Reynolds or The Rock who come out and talk about their mental health, to see people who are that successful that still deal with it, and I think it's just so important people talk about it.
Well, thank you, and we'll see you on Friday with more reviews about everything coming out and all your insights then. Take care. We love you.
Thanks for having me, and I love you guys too. Thanks for letting me share.
Always. We'll be right back.